do a little post on Twitter, even though nobody's going to click on it. That doesn't look right. Hold on, delete that tweet. It's supposed to be just a normal YouTube link, isn't it? Why? That doesn't look right. Where do I get a simple link to this stream so I can post it on the website where I normally get no engagement on my posts? RTMP. Oh, this isn't what I want. In the meantime, hello. 2 people. We're gonna be starting this stuff up real soon. This is Slay the Princess, a game that just came out today. That looks to be right up my alley. Different tab. There we go. We're live and trying to survive. So, I thought this first screen in this game is a little interesting. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong choices. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Alright. So this is Slay the Princess. I know basically nothing about this game, other than what's on its Steam page. The description on Steam is, "You are here to slay the princess, do not believe her lies." And so, she's some spoopy Eldritch being? Is she just misunderstood? It says it's a love story. Let's see. There are many wrong choices in life. Spaceman Marco Astorius. Hello. Now I will say, I'm not sure how much of this game I'm going to be able to stream. Let me know if the audio levels are weird, by the way. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to be able to stream because I took a look at the content warnings on the website. Oh shit, what is... Oh fuck. Okay. Alright. Anyway, I took a look at the content warnings on their website, and hoo boy, there are a lot of them. So, it probably won't be that bad for the first stream, but this might reach a point where I just can't do it on this platform anymore. Basically, it looks like a lot of gore. So, let's see how it goes. It's a little bit loud just for me. So, let's see how this goes. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, there's like this parallax on the background when you move your mouse. That's pretty neat.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Spaceman, I won't narc if you don't. I appreciate that. let's just agree, nobody tell YouTube if something bad happens. It did say mild nudity, so keep that in mind. End of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Only princess seems kind of bad. Get someone else to do this. I'll say explore. Killing the princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Okay. Anti-monarchist narrator.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
How can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Alright. Unreliable narrator? Do you have any evidence to back this up? Can I do it? I can't do a J.C. Denton voice. Do you have a single fact to back that up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Can someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said,
I'm not
I
a
don't
tanky.
make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
I wonder if the narrator's going to be a character like he was in the Stanley Parable. Do I get some kind of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
What's the reward? Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Eldritch princess ass?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Alright. You can end the world, but I can kill her somehow. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to this until I've had the chance to meet her face to face. Vincent Rose, is this for a video soon? I don't know. All I really know about this game is what's on its Steam page. It does kind of seem, in my brand, up my alley. Steam even recommends it to you if you have Doki Doki Literature Club. So maybe. But I just kind of felt drawn to this game. So maybe if this ends up interesting, this could be a video.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Good to know, Mr. Narrator.
Go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Oh, my character has a voice. Alright.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh boy, okay, we're already getting into this. The player character is somebody separate from ourselves. Narrator's telling us to ignore him. The Steam page kind of implies there's like a time loop thing going on here. And if there's some sort of fourth wall breakiness, well, yeah, again, that's kind of why I figured this might be my brand. Proceed into the cabin. The art for this game is pretty interesting. Oh, it looks hand-drawn.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Convenient. Alright, take the blade.
Take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I'll call this first run the cautious and pragmatic run.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light.
Is the game fully out yet? Copper Android? Yes, it is. It just came out today.
Impressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
This stream is probably going to be like an hour or so. We're just going to see how this goes. If I continue to stream more, it'll probably be next Monday.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Ugh.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm here to kill you.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs.
Here's the princess.
And lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
This is a different vibe that she gave in the trailer. I never touched the early access. I figured for a story-based game I didn't want to. Are you here to kill me or something? I haven't decided
How
yet.
about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out.
I don't know, she's giving off a
Don't you
vibe.
dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a...
Oop, didn't mean to right-click. Tighten the grip.
You ignore the trembling of your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Man, I thought she was going to be like all ooh-woo innocent at first, but I guess not.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills
Go
us?
into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping this blade. You
Then I'm
seem
not
dangerous.
talking to you.
Man, this is already... I don't have any reason to distrust her yet. What? Fuck it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
I like her design, how she kind of looks like a princess drawn by a middle schooler, with like those really big eyes.
We'll be fine. We don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Girl, you were threatening me just a few seconds ago.
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Oh, I guess the voice of the hero and the narrator are almost like forces pulling you in two different directions. That's an interesting concept.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Subjugating monarch. The narrator says, no gods, no masters. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
I am Golgoroth.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
That's just a creepy face.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Man, they're really they're really making you commit. Slay, try to get her out of here, or keep her locked up. Well, in your first run of a Stanley Parable, you just do what the narrator tells you to do. So, fuck it.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
How'd you make it pose?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
I did drop the knife.
We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Hesitation is defeat. What's with that hand? Am I a lizard man?
As you lie, crushed and broken...
Oh, this is somebody's fetish.
The princess kneels on your throat, with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity.
The way she's looking down... Come on. They knew what they were doing.
You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Rip. Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Just a
And in the
moment.
basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright, the music's creepy.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You ever get that feeling of deja vu?
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Okay, we're doing time loops.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Is the hero in on it?
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Alright. No second-guessing ourselves this time. Hesitation is defeat.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Sure. Sorry about this. Let's assume that I'm telling the truth and all of this did really happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Oh boy. Also, I hope that siren outside isn't showing up on the mic, but it definitely is.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
I just noticed it's gone from voice of the hero to voice of the broken.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
All she did was beat me to death. How can she end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Both the hero and the broken?
We tone down
Oh
the
yeah,
pessimism
okay,
just
there's the
a
hero.
smidge.
Okay, I didn't notice. So we got the voice of the hero and the voice of the broken. We're going Disco Elysium. We got a whole bunch of voices in our head.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
You killed me last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
Who locked her in that basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's
Proletariat locked her in the
woods.
basement.
Don't overcomplicate things.
People locked her away. Why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps.
It's because I'm the
It's just
player
the
of
way
this
things
here
are.
video game.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
You just died once, drama queen.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Yeah.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time.
I mean, she did make me drop the knife.
She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the
Whoa.
cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Now, the starting screen was quite insistent that there's essentially no, like, bad choices or dead ends, so... There's still that part of me that's like, oh man, did I screw myself by not taking this route or that route on my first time around?
Why do we feel so small?
Oh, did she
We
get
don't
stronger
feel small. We
when
are
she killed us?
small. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Unreliable
There's
narrator.
definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
I am definitely a lizard man.
Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
Please don't. I'd rather the princess kill us again than see how dreadful we are. I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us?
I wonder if the narrator literally can't see us.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
What's with my hand?
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Alright.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Let's do this. Hesitation is defeat. We're going straight for the princess. I even got a little knife in my cursor.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oh god.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral
I'm really
staircase
worried
is
that she
a
powered up.
time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
Voice of the Broken is a monarchist.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Tighten your grip.
As if on command, the blade
No!
slips from your grasp.
No!
It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
I see you,
It's
Chad.
time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
Maybe she's different in every universe.
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she?
I wonder if I can, try to get close saying, oh yeah, babe, I'll break that chain for you, and then use the knife. She's an accelerationist.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it?
Yeah, we gotta start labeling the politics here. So the narrator is an anarchist, the voice of the broken is a monarchist, and this version of the princess is an accelerationist. We're gonna fill out the entire political compass.
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
What happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place
for a boy
something
toy.
worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Ah, lending credence to the kink theory. What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
If you're so powerful, why can't you just break the chains yourself? This is like me tempting Vlaakith in Baldur's Gate 3.
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily, but that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you,
being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn.
Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me,
my will triumphs over yours.
You don't have to end the world, you are what you choose to be.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
So my thought is like, say, sure babe, I'll let you out, just so I can get closer with the knife. But I feel like if I say pledge myself to her, then that just automatically sets me down that path. But if I defy her, I'm just gonna die. No, door number 1.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh shit. I literally can't pick the other options. Even if I click it really, really hard.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that.
Oh, all of the voices are compromised.
Stand anyway.
Stop making me do things.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What?
What?
You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this. That's my only option. End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
That's probably one of the worst ways to go.
Do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You. Heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Deltarune vibes, Deltarune vibes.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with
I got
the
one
bloody
good lung.
expressions of your futility.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room,
Again, I'm not even gonna say it anymore.
As your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Stab her.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Hesitation is defeat.
No! Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you.
Oh, is she huge?
Decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
I finished the game. I've slayed the princess. Where's my Steam achievement? It's over, right? I slayed the princess.
As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You...
Filter on her voice is gone.
You
Now
were
it's back.
you defiler. You don't know the consequences of your arrogance.
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands.
The filter's gone
I
again.
feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
I hope this broken guy is going to be gone on the next loop.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor.
God Killer
Glassy
achievement.
eyes
Slay your better.
blinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I was thinking about also making a counter of, like, author's kinks, but it's probably just going to be the same as the death counter. Chapter 3. Alright, this is going to make the stream flat.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
It's, Song of Saya mode. Alright, this is going to make the stream flash for a second, but bear with me. Okay, and we're back. Okay. Again, Urabuchi sends his regards. I guess I'll continue to the end of this run, and that'll probably be it for this stream. Maybe another 20 minutes.
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god!
Ooh, Voice of the Stubborn. Are we collecting our party members? This really is Disco Elysium.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful
Terraria Crimson.
ever will be.
Damn right we did. You'll get alright. I can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed.
This music is a little loud.
You're being too generous. You did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... Well, this is just great.
What?
Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here.
Did I just skip over some dialogue by accident? You're on a path to... How many paths do... Okay.
Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here.
Now we're in Fleshland.
This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods. If reality seems distorted, it's because reality is distorted.
Alright, that again indicates that the narrator can't see us. Interesting.
So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously. Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Voice of the Stubborn doesn't have time for politics. He's a man of action. Feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when it comes time to make a choice.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really got to say anything.
What a crock of shit.
I feel like I'm accidentally... That's twice now it looks like I've accidentally skipped a line.
Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died! If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
If I don't slay her, and I just stay here, and we don't do anything when we hit this point of no return, then what happens? It's developed by a husband-wife team, so accusations of... Bear that in mind. Huh, okay.
Then what happens? Have you even been listening?
How are they behind closed doors?
Yeah, but is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there. If there even is a there. It doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
You said you know more than you're letting on. If you want me to go into the cabin, you'd better tell us everything.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
I like Voice of the Hero.
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
Our answers are at the cabin. Might as well see this through.
Good, we're all on the same page.
The footstep sounds are wet.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
Even to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin
It's
is a
wet.
place that long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high
That's a
arch
mirror
roof,
again.
vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
The princess is going to look really gross this time around, I can just feel it.
That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
That goddamn mirror again.
A mirror? There is no mirror. We've done this already. Try to keep up. The repetition is maddening. No, if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things, or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely.
Why? Hold up. Looks like the stream dropped out for a moment there, but now it's back.
What are you trying to say, exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again. You take the blade from the pedestal. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It really is just like last time.
When the DM misreads the module.
Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it! Let's get violent already. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Smash it.
Bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic.
If the princess is a small girl in a white dress, I'm gonna freaking lose it.
The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Stop mumbling.
If she's an abomination, then what does that make her?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in
Oh, that's not so bad.
a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor.
She's huge again,
This
though.
place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
She got a weak point, like a Shadow of the Colossus boss.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
Okay, the content warnings on the website mentioned degloving, so, okay, that was it.
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Give it up and destroying the world, have we?
The world hasn't wronged me the way you have. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually, though. Once I've had my fill of you.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. Horrifying squelch.
Oh.
You are unwound.
Well, what's with the feathers? Wait, I'm not a lizard person, I'm a bird person. Well, I probably deserve this. Hesitation is defeat.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Oh. She turned back in the, that alley in Morio. True to her word, you did not die by her hand. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place. Aw. The mirror? Is the mirror my bro?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Narrator bro, where are you?
Yes. Does that mean the world ended?
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
Figures the world would end and leave us with all of this nothing.
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
Feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at us.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared
It's
the
different.
hero before.
It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Taking bets. I think we're going to be a crow. They're gone and the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Ah, shit. Oh, I thought she was dead. And now she has a stand.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
A hive mind? Like maybe a multiversal hive mind? I don't know what I am, frankly. I think I'm a hive mind. Hive mind too. Yeah, we're both hive minds.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Gift of a fragile vessel. Oh, I wonder if another being is talking through the princess.
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
You what sent me to slay the princess.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
I don't think she's the princess, but I'm going to ask her anyway.
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Release the Eldritch princess.
There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. I know only that they are.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
This is freaking weird. This is not what I expected from this game.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Is this saying reset the game and try another route, I guess?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I was sent to slay the princess and stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I don't let you do this to me.
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Alright. True reset. No, wait, no. It's not time for that yet.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
There. Amnesia jump scare. Got a vessel. Bring
You're
the
on a
Fiore
path
to her.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright, I guess it's been reset.
You're here to slay her.
Okay, I think that's a stopping point. Got that visual novel save thing. They say it's a love story. But do I love the princess, or do I love Yog-Sothoth that I met in the far realm? Maybe that's... those are the routes. Okay, that's pretty good. And I don't think that the gore is something that's going to get me, like, demonetized, or at least not banned. I don't really care about monetizing streams. So, yeah, I like this. As I predicted, it's kind of up my alley. It's got some Doki Doki vibes. Let's see if I can come back here next Monday, and we'll explore more ways in which the cute princess can horribly, horribly tear my body apart. Maybe next time we just stab her straight away. And I do think there's probably going to be something funny that happens if I just turn around and leave at the very start. Like that, what was it, Paper Mario, where you could do that, where you could just say, hey, do you want to go on a quest? No. Game over. Wow. Alright. That was a fun little experiment. Oh, here's the jump scare. Hello. It looks a little different than it did last time that happened. Anyway. The art is good. The voice acting's good. The music, what I've heard of it, is pretty good. I'm starting to understand why this visual novel was like a 10 gig download. There's probably a lot to this. So, everyone have a good night. And... I don't have a nice catchphrase to... Anyway, as my friend says, I'll catch you on L Flipside. Good night.